Takkan Melayu hilang di dunia. These are the famous words of Hang Tuah, repeated in this fire song by Datuk Sharifah Aini, God bless you. But you know who doesn't agree? Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad himself, who says that the Malays will become a race that doesn't have a country.
And the Malays may disappear from the world.
Dr. Mahathir released this statement, an open letter to party leaders, supporters, and all Malay voters. In the general elections, especially the Malays will be faced with choices of candidates. The effect of your choice is great. It determines whether the Tanah Melayu will keep being Tanah Melayu or it will become the Tanah of the non-Malay. If we want this country to stay as the Tanah Melayu, vote for Malay candidates without loyalty to any party or NGO. Whoever is Malay, that will be told during the general elections. The loyalty of the Malays is to the Malays. If this loyalty is given to parties or other puaks, then the Malay land will disappear. Without the Tanah Melayu, the Malays will disappear from the earth. The Malays will become a race that do not have a country. Wow, thank you, Dr. Mahathir. A race without a country. How fascinating, Tun M. Especially since you have Indian descent, but you seem to have no interest in your homeland. Nice to see that you still have kin hanging around though. But you know, for the real Malays, whoa. I'm not saying that Tun Mahathir is not a real Malay, but I'm just saying, here is Mahathir again, exact same guy who has talked about how the Malays were lazy, fixing them all in a little box and giving the Malay people all of this poison about how they are under threat, they are persecuted, and to sort of challenge his view of the Melayu Malas. I actually asked him if he thought that there were any good things about the Malays back in my interview with him in 2024. Do you not think that maybe there are some good things maybe about the Malays that the world should learn from as well?
Well, I try to think that the Malays are not a violent people.
And it makes you wonder to yourself, like, did you even care about them to the point that you would have anything to say about them? Did you ever really see yourself as Malay? Questions. But you know, I just have to wonder about like what culture, what aspect of being Malay this guy is trying to protect. I will say though, it is kind of funny that someone who is only Malay because the British fixed the definition of what a Malay was or was not in the constitution and spends the rest of his time bringing down the Malays, calling them malas, is now the ultimate defender of the Malay realm. Truly, takkan hilang Melayu di dunia ini. It's worth talking about the takkan Melayu hilang di dunia phrase again. Apparently the second part of it, according to this penunggang agama, is selagi Melayu berpegang kepada agama. Well, with all the penunggang agamas out there, I'm not so sure. Funny how this guy and a lot of them like to talk about saving the Malays as they do all day and all night though. Especially since so many of these people have a habit of betraying one another over and over again to the point that it's actually comical. And the whole world knows this as the heritage of the Malays, whether fair or not fair. And you know what I just have to ask? Even if miraculously Tun Mahathir causes the Malays to win an election on this premise of takkan Melayu hilang di dunia, what exactly does it accomplish? Does it make people respect themselves? Have more jati diri? Be so authentically proud of themselves for actually achieving something that is not being a parasite, ashamed of nothing, contributing nothing, entitled to everything, complaining about everything? I'm sure that's going to be great for your jati diri as you think about the noble pride of your civilization. The funny thing is, I've been reading a lot about this topic over the past couple of days. I finished Fanon, Black Skin, White Mask, and also Wretched of the Earth. Lots of that fascinating woke post-colonial gaze image colonizer stuff, which I'm pretty sure 99% of those colonialism rent-free in-head type people have never read and never will. But Wretched of the Earth does talk about how national culture is very important. Fanon describes colonialism as not a gentle, loving mother who protects her child from a hostile environment, but instead as a mother who unceasingly restrains her fundamentally perverse offspring from from managing to commit suicide, and from giving rein to all its evil instincts. But it looks like in Malaysia, now after the colonialist is gone, you've got a whole bunch of people just coddling people with stories, half-truths, myths and fears about other races, myths about how they taught Chinese people to fly and do kung fu, and how they built ships, and how the ships of the Chinese Empire were Malay.
Oh, if you question them, they'll say you're too colonized to know.
Either way, it's pretty clear that this is just casual dog whistling that doesn't belong in the 21st century in a world where people are trying to move beyond racial boundaries. And you really have to wonder at the end of the day if what Dr. Mahathir is doing here is actually protecting the jati diri of a race, or really, at the end of the day, doing nothing more than just enforcing a colonial definition put in place by the British, and in effect, bringing back colonialism in the political manipulations of a couple of people who know nothing else in their lives. What do you think, Sapoops? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. That's all I will say about that, and bye.